Really appreciate that because I think a lot of people, say they don't change, be yourself, never change and all of that. But you should grow, and growing is a good change. And I feel like I thought a lot about that during this session. So, thank you. Hi, how are you? How's everything going? How was your day?
Everything is going well, can't complain. How have you been lately?
I've been good. I know that compared to the north, Bangalore barely changes in temperature during the winter, but
Mm,
it does feel colder, and maybe I'm really sensitive or something, but I have a cold, just a mild cold.
okay,
The students of mine from the government school, we went on a field trip today. So
okay.
we went to the aquarium with them, and it was really fun. Yeah. What did you
Okay.
do today?
Mm, Nothing more than session.
Okay, all right. Sessions all day.
Yes.
Oh,
Till
wow.
now, sessions. After this, I can do something interesting. I can go for my dance class, little bit exercise, some movement, and but
Absolutely.
till now it's just stable, sit in front of camera, speak, discuss.
Don't you get tired? Or is everyone as interesting as I am?
Yes, yes, that's the case. In fact, I love. I mean, I today I was just wondering how I sat straight for 3.5 hours. I was sitting, and then I realized, okay, I think I should get up and move.
Yeah.
And I moved, had my lunch, and after this, we are having this session.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm glad you're up and ready. I'm glad you're a little refreshed, I hope. Yeah, is there anything specific you'd like to talk about?
Okay, so let's make it a bit impromptu today.
Sure. Sure.
Okay. So what we'll do, so we'll have questions, okay, as always. So the thing is, you come up with two questions, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll come up with two questions. See, you don't know what I have on my mind. Even I don't have anything on my mind. Even I don't know what you will ask. So let this session just flow like that.
All right. Great.
So shall we do like that, Upasana?
Sure thing. Shall I go first? Do you want to?
Yes. So, okay, let's make it like this. So, one question related to English communication and these things, and other one can be any question.
Sure. Sure
Okay.
thing.
And if time permits, then 3-3, otherwise 2-2. Okay.
Done. All right. Well, okay. So let me ask you something. Yeah. I feel like you are one of the few extroverted people I meet on here.
Hmm.
And maybe I'm being bold in assuming that about your personality, but I do feel like you're quite extroverted like me. And I love that because I feel like our conversations are always open and they flourish by themselves. There is no need to try too hard. Right. And so, in relation to learning English, do you think learning spoken English and being an introvert or an extrovert has something to do with one another?
Okay. All right. Now, that's a wonderful question. I appreciate it, Upasana, and that's a great catch. Yeah, I can say I am an extrovert, but it depends how the other person is.
Right.
So these days I have become ambivert, what we say, because I have learned to stay quiet when the situation demands you being quiet. So I have learned it, I can say recently. Earlier I used to be super extrovert, as you guessed it right.
Hmm.
Yeah, if we talk about connection with learning or speaking English or our communication skills, so you might have got many learners who come up and man, we are shy and introvert. And
Yeah.
somehow we are unable to open up, we are unable to express, right? So for them, they feel as if this introvertedness is a big time hurdle.
Hmm.
I feel yes, it is, but sometimes it is being hyped. Even introverts, when they open up, when they find the right person, the right place, they speak very well, right? In fact, they are great observers. That is what I believe. If
Okay. All
yes,
right. Well, I asked because a lot of my students, like the first few sessions with them, when I realized they are quite introverted, quite reserved, demure, which I think is very graceful and very sweet. However, while teaching English, it's a big hurdle of mine to, get English out of them because they speak so well. And I'm like, why are you even taking this session? Because you seem like you really know what you're talking about. And sooner or later they open up a little bit more, and I'm like finding the mistakes, whereas it would have been easier if the conversation was as easy the first time, because I was able to catch so much and I realized it's a little too late, and maybe they're very confident that they know the language now and they're going to leave. But there was so much that I didn't catch that we could have caught earlier, if they had opened up a little bit more. But of course, I mean, that's a lot. That's a big expectation from my side. I know that. So, yeah, I mean, how do you deal with that?
of course, and this is something that I have faced and I have been experiencing. Right? I remember here, if I talk about this introvert and the situation that you described. So, Pasna, first few sessions, in fact, I would say 5, 6, 10 sessions, it is really hard, right? Because you just have to push them constantly, even to the extent where you just have to ask them to repeat whatever you are talking.
Yeah.
I just ask them whatever I'm talking, just repeat at least that much,
Yeah.
but speak, right? Because they have those thoughts, they have everything with them, but they are unable to let it all out, they are unable to express it. So it becomes a hurdle, and eventually it becomes a bit difficult for the teacher to analyze, because of course you want the other person to speak. So that constant push, constant motivation, and just bringing that out is a task. I agree. But I believe, you know, this constant motivation becomes the game changer.
Yeah.
When you let them know that you have it all, it's not coming out. And
Hmm.
then they start realizing, okay, even I can speak. I just wanted this validation that I have that. It's there inside. I just have to take it all out.
Mhm.
Once they realize that, yeah, I have it, and then they try to open up, try.
Yeah. I think one thing I've realized as we're speaking is the student is as much of an introvert or an extrovert as the teacher is. I think the more I speak and the more I, give my point of view, they feel comfortable adding on. And that's how a conversation really blossoms. So I have to really, push myself onto them in a weird way, you know.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
but yeah. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
What about
But
you? Do you want to?
Upasana, like we just have to find out their interest.
Yeah.
Even though they are introvert, but they might be interested in at least 5 things. Like suppose if they like playing with kids,
Mhm.
right? Or if they love reading books, you can just push them to at least open up on these areas.
Yeah.
That is something that can help in just flourishing.
One thing I've found useful is rage baiting some of my students. So sometimes someone will say, yeah, I mean, I like sports, and they kind of quiet down. And I'm like, sports? I don't understand why people like sports. I mean, it's so boring. And as soon as I do that, they are so excited to hit back, you know? So rage
Yes,
baiting helps.
absolutely, it does. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
So,
great
any
question.
question from you?
Okay, now from my end. Okay, so first question is, Upasna, there are learners or there are people who speak well, but more or less it sounds as if they have just prepared one good solid speech, with good vocabulary, and it sounds quite scripted and not natural.
Hmm.
How to help those learners? How can that speech flow like a water and flow naturally?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I understand what you're talking about because I come across this a lot, wherein when the conversation starts, there's this big bold preface, you know, like a preamble to what's about to happen. Happy Constitution Day, by the way. Was that yesterday, day before? Anyway, um,
Oh, sorry. I should know it, but I didn't expect this question. Mhm.
no. But there's this big preface, and then I go on with the conversation, and suddenly I realize, well, the preface was it then. There's nothing else, and most of it is just flowing. I think a lot of it has to do with our schooling. I think it starts early. I mean, of course, I'm not an expert on this. I haven't excelled in these, whatever fields we're talking about. Maybe it's psychology, we don't know. But I think our schooling system praises discipline, quote unquote, where the student knows what is in the textbook and nothing else. And we punish when the student's own opinions are brought out. And hence, I feel like a lot of people memorize, these big vocabulary, these big words, a big vocabulary, very practical thinking, very objective thinking, and all of that. And somehow we leave out the color of the language. We exclude the color that someone can bring to the language, which is really sad. I think even now we see like students are punished for questioning authority, for questioning the teachers about like, why is this the way things need to be? And they are punished. They are not answered. They are not given a clear reasoning as to why the system is that way. And when you discourage children from talking about these things, from emoting, I think you grow up to be a person who talks like what you're referring to. I think we should always encourage students and encourage children from asking to ask questions and to keep questioning, to keep being curious about things. And I think language kind of grows within that, and the you find different ways of describing how you're feeling. Suddenly, it's not just angry, it's red-eyed, it's pink with pink cheeks and bawling eyes, and all those wonderful colors are added onto the language. And so I think it's really important to provide a safe environment for the child to blossom and to be able to speak freely that way, and not just memorize, and have paragraphs ready. Yeah.
Totally. So, as you mentioned, it starts early. Totally, it starts early, but for some, somehow they don't get that environment or they didn't get it. And now, at this stage, let's suppose when they are professionals, they are habituated like that and they become habitual of speaking that way. So, I would like to just talk about one learner of mine here. So, he used to have sessions through audio calls. Okay, so I always used to feel that he's reading and speaking
Mm-hmm.
the way he used to.
Exactly.
And every time I used to ask, was it written? Was it there with you? Was the script with you? He used to say, no, ma'am, I'm just speaking. And later he switched to video sessions. And when I noticed, okay, even through video sessions, his speech is the same. Then I realized, okay, this is his way of speaking. Okay. And then I saw that learner, the change in his speech. Earlier, it used to sound very much scripted. Later, uh, as I talked about, how naturally it can flow. So I saw that with little changes. Earlier, I used to think it's difficult, it's next to impossible, it cannot be changed. But when I saw that one particular learner changing, I used to tell him every day that I have seen this dramatic change in your speech. And then I realized, okay, it's never too late. Even if you sound scripted, if you sound like too sophisticated with your speech, it can flow naturally and it can become little casual and very much warm.
I think a lot of it has to do with finding your tribe as well, finding your people. It's a lot like Matilda. You know, Matilda, like the story of like finding your people, finding that one teacher who actually recognizes something in you and pulls that version of you out. Because for so long you've been trying to fit in that you realized, well, now I have to shine and I have to excel, but I don't know how. Like I've always been used to hiding in the crowd. But that's not what we as humans should be built to do. I think we should all be built to stand out in our own little ways, you know? And so finding your tribe would play an important role in that, finding your people, the people who actually let you be yourself and flourish by yourself and accept you. Um, yeah.
That's true. And when you spoke about it, Upasna, like sometimes you don't find that right person. So even I would like to add one thing here. All of us, we have something, okay, unique. We call that as USP. 900% of us, we have that, right? But 90%, they think that it is not there with them just because people around them, they don't let them bring that out, or we can say they don't get that appreciation, validation, that right environment. And once you get that right person and right environment to pull that thing out, then you see the change.
Yeah.
You just need that one person, the right environment, the right tribe that can actually help you, push you to bring your unique point out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Unfortunately, I think the session is about to end, but I really appreciated this conversation because
Yes.
I think we spoke a lot about how there's the distinctions between, I don't know, personality and like what is your personality and what do you gatekeep versus how do you decide to grow out of something.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate that because I think a lot of people, you know, say they don't change, you know, be yourself, you know, never change and all of that. But you should grow, and growing is a good change. And I feel like I thought a lot about that during this session. So thank you. This was
Thank
really
you so
wonderful.
much, Upasna. Of
And
course,
we
and
will do more questions next time.
yes, two more, and that those were personal questions, you know.
I
We
know.
discussed something professional, that's wonderful, but next time it will be a bit more personal,
Yes, absolutely. Have a
right?
good rest of your day. By the way, I love what you're wearing. I wanted to say that first time, but
I loved this thing of yours, and then your nails. Oh my God, that's
I
really
never do my nails. I did them recently. I'm kind of nervous.
right. It caught
I
my
will talk like this today. Like,
attention. I just removed it. I was having it, but I just removed it. It's
all
great
right then.
to see you, Pasna, and hope to see you very soon.
Yes. Bye bye.